This anime is definitely one of the highlights of the winter season for sure. It is just a absolute silly concept. The fact that this individual was transformed into a beauty. And on top of that, that ends up being the ability that she has as well. So Tachibana in episode number 2, kind of we already knew, but discovers the ability to basically charm other people. And because of her unparalleled beauty ability, she is able to essentially take down a bunch of thieves by making them fall in love with her, so much so that they end up fighting each other. And I think that is just a really, really interesting and really cool premise and ability. On top of that, though, you also have a 𝐒𝐻𝐽𝐻𝐽, which is not completely impenetrable or completely immune to this ability, because in the episode he also gets affected by this ability as well. But for him, it goes even deeper than that, because prior to him being charmed this episode, he was already having those feelings. Like, there was a moment that he was thinking back to where Tachibana helped him in middle school, staple some papers and stuff. And he was like, oh yeah, he's always been like this. And then he looks at it, he's like, so cute. Let's just jump. Let's get married right now. And he's like, what? Why am I having these thoughts? And he just crushes his head into a tree. And that scene just kind of like sent me like to the next level. Like, I was laughing so much during that one scene, because it went from like, he's always been this way to let's get married. I was like, oh my God, what a 360 shift there. And I thought that was like just freaking hilarious. But the whole premise of this anime is just really funny. So you have the goddess who reincarnated, or not, I guess isekai these two into this other parallel world, but she gave two of them the ability. So we have the unparalleled beauty ability, and then for 𝐒𝐻𝐽𝐻𝐽, his ability that he has, outside of just being very powerful and having the ability to have other abilities like strength and probably magic later on, but his ability was to summon a specific door, and the door is a door to Tachibana's apartment. And the reason for that is, at some point when they were drunk, how Tachibana said, he wants to be a Bishoujo, wants to be a beautiful girl. 𝐒𝐻𝐽𝐻𝐽's wish, prayer, whatever, was to have an inn to Tachibana's place. So they end up being able to go into Tachibana's apartment, and it's just like he left it. Like video game systems, TVs, the last frozen meal, microwave, but there's running water, there's electricity. So they're going to have, at least anywhere they go in this world, they're going to have a place to go, which I think is really cool. They basically have like this, in their item stores, they have like this traveling apartment. So they never have to worry about sleeping on the ground or sleeping outside. They always have this apartment that they can go into, which I think is really cool as well. I think that's a really cool premise. And then as the episode kind of rolled out, you have Tachibana realizing that 𝐒𝐻𝐽𝐻𝐽 can't be affected by the charmed ability. Him saying that, hey, I found your weakness and now I can control it, kind of thing. And 𝐒𝐻𝐽𝐻𝐽's realizing that, oh, I finally have somebody who can take advantage of my weakness. And then the episode ends on, a fire happening, a fire occurring. And then we get introduced to an elf character, and that elf character is also a very pretty girl, and she realizes that her forest is being burnt down. Probably some foreshadowing for what's to come next. Probably there's some elf stuff happening. But if this anime can continue to be these little bite-sized little adventures between the two as they gravitate closer to each other, kind of trying to figure out what their relationship is, I think that'll be really interesting. The biggest thing for them, outside of everything, is Tachibana coming to complete terms with him now being a female, and being okay with that situation. And then it is on the other side, 𝐒𝐻𝐽𝐻𝐽 realizing that he might have had feelings for his friend, coming to terms with that, and then now coming to terms with that his friend is now a female, and being okay with that option, and then kind of like pursuing love, but they have to realize they have to disperse this curse before they can really travel down that road, because they need to make sure that this is something that isn't spurred by the goddess's humor and by the curse. This is something genuine, and if it is something genuine, then I think then they can take the next steps. But just that premise itself makes this anime really interesting to watch and really interesting to keep watching going forward. On top of all the comedy, on top of this being freaking hilarious, I just really, really enjoy that, and I really take solace in knowing that there's more to come, and that this can go pretty deep into kind of like what the premise is, but the top layer is really all this funniness and this comedy, which I really enjoy. And I really like how Jinguchu basically said that he wasn't a lolicon, even though he's extremely interested in Tachibana as well. But that's kind of all my thoughts. This episode is really good. A guy who reincarnated as a fantasy knockout and unparalleled beauty. Definitely a really good episode number 2. Good follow-up to episode number 1. Let me know what you guys think about this episode. Let me know what you think is going to happen going forward. And let me know if you're down with the plot and kind of everything that's been catered to us so far. Throw down any positive and or negative thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you guys being here. And I'll see you next week for episode 3. Peace out, my friends.